Jair Balsonaro, he is the president of Brazil, and he visited Washington on 17th of March 2019, an official state visit to US. Uh, uh, Bolsonaro is recently elected by Brazil populace, and he is very much aligned with President Trump in terms of restricting the Chinese global development or the influence not only in South America but also globally. Now, since he has visited Washington, they had the opportunity to discuss how they can restrain the Chinese influence. Now, at first, we have to look at the trade between Brazil and China on that issue. The agriculture is the main export item that Brazil has been selling to China. The Chinese portion holds 27% within the agricultural industry. It's a huge ratio. And if Brazil wants to restrain the Chinese influence, they have to start with this agriculture industry sell. But how they can do this, because it holds the main turnover for the economy, and moreover the private sector will be affected greatly if they want to carry a big bulk of this trade to US and elsewhere. They have to have a bilateral agreement with these countries. However, Brazil is in a Mercosur agreement, where within the South America countries, where they are bound to ask permission from the Union in order to start all these deals and to sell this deficiency to those countries. So let's say if they want to take half of the percent or 60-70% of this 27% of the agriculture to United States, they have to ask these countries to let them have a new agreement with United States. Now, this is very much hard, because it will mostly impact other countries such as Mexico and Venezuela even, and other countries. Now, moreover, Brazil also and the United States agree with the leadership in Venezuela. We have to also state that this is something that they come together around. On the hand side, Brazil also needs the Chinese technology in order to develop 5G technology within Brazil, and US has recently provided a report stating that Huawei equipment might expose some risks in terms of intelligence, meaning that they can be used for espionage purposes. Although Bolsonaro is very much aligned with President Trump, he has limitations in order to bypass the system. First of all, he has to go to also his own constitution and also laws, and get aligned with other fractions within Brazil in order to restrain Chinese development within China. Since the private sectors will be affected greatly, we think that it will be very hard for Bolsonaro to do so. So this is the first limitations. The second limitation is technology. They need technology. Indeed, the American companies can represent an opportunity to Brazil. Compared to Chinese companies in terms of cost and competitiveness, they are not very competitive. So, meaning that they will buy those equipments from United States companies much more costly than compared with a Chinese company. So that's another thing that holds Balsonaro greatly. So considering these two items, we think that it is not very much likely that Balsonaro can do whatever he intends to do, although he is going to do some improvements or developments to restrain the Chinese development. So if he wants to do these kind of things, he should amend the custom union legislation to allow Brasilia to sign a trade deal with the United States and some others. So in order to come closely to the United States as a new ally or a much more strategical ally, he's obliged to do these kind of things. And we will now also lean on Brasilia and see how they are going to, or how Bolsonaro is going to handle this problem. We will project that he has to do something like Obrador in Mexico, that he will use his influence and his presidential power in order to turn around the legislation and also the constitution from time to time. Therefore, we will see more direct leadership, which will not try to have new mutual understanding with the other factions within Brazil. Therefore, in future, if the private sectors especially will be affected or feel that they are threatened, there might be even some unrest, and new legislation might be also in place in order to put more pressure to those protesters. For you, we are going to closely monitor Brasilia from now on, because we think that there will be some great changes coming in future. Thank you for watching us.